Hi Aquarius, welcome to your June 2021 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aquarius, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. With that said, if you are a new subby, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. And if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's get into it. So you get one new moon and one full moon each. You get one new moon and one full moon each month. And forgive me, it's not going very well, is it? So you get one new moon and one full moon each month. And so this month, Aquarius, the new moon is taking place in your 5th house. This is the house of creativity, fun, joy, play. This is also the space where you can look to for how you escape your day-to-day life through pleasure, through enjoyment. This is really, and remember your new moon is a point of setting intentions. It's planting seeds. It's because it's a dark moon as well. This is the time that you can imprint something with your intention or your energy. So pay attention to what comes up around this time as well, because it means that at some point it's going to come to fruition, and whatever you set into motion around this time is what you're going to be growing more of. Because this is in your 5th house, it is your creativity, your joy, your fun, the pleasures that the pleasures that you're ruled by. This is also your children as well, if you have them. The fact that it is a new moon, so for some of you, if you're looking to conceive or whatever, this could be a good time for that. If you already have children, they could be a little bit of a black hole when it comes to money this month, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, when aren't children a drain on the resources? Yeah, so just something to think about. So your human design oracle card message there is the gate 22 and grace, right? And it's so interesting that we get this card for the new moon in the 5th house. Why? Because this card basically says create for the sake of creating. Create because it brings you joy. Do what you absolutely love. And it really is, right? You think about swans, look at this, right? They mate for life. They only ever have one. So if their partner dies, like, they'll never find somebody else. Like, it's just that. This, and it's interesting that this comes up around, love, sex, sensuality, this new moon, bringing more of these things into your life. So maybe not necessarily, having fun to procreate, but having fun with your partner or partners, just because it feels good, right? Finding ways to fill your life with more joy and more pleasure are going to be really important to you this month. For your full moon, this is taking place in the sign of Capricorn and is happening in your 12th house, right? Especially if you're an ascendant Aquarius, to the lesser degree, the sun, and to a lesser degree than that, the moon, right? But in some way, it's still going to be there. This is in your 12th house. Now, what I usually say about the 12th house, it's the closet, right? It's the collective closet, it's the unconscious, it's the deep part of you, it's your past, it's your deeper psychology, your deeper motivations. It's also been called the house of the house of self-undoing, so where your self-sabotaging tendencies come up. Now, the full moon is a culmination, a completion, or an ending, right? So in the opposite energy, right? The new moon was about setting intentions, beginning something, starting afresh or anew. Whereas the the full moon, should I say, is all about completions, culminations, and endings. And I like to say, if you think about a woman being pregnant, when she's at full term or full moon, right? She then has the baby. So it's the end of the end of the pregnancy, the completion, the culmination, or the ending, but it's the beginning of the child's life. So it puts a highlight or a spotlight on this new thing. That could be happening in your life. This is like the universe putting a spotlight into your closet. this is what you think about at a deeper level. This is what you are afraid of. This is what holds you back. This is what you do for yourself or to yourself that stops you achieving or getting what it is that you would really like in your life. Pay attention to this full moon. It's going to be deep. It's going to be psychological. It may even as well be a little bit painful, I have to say, but I promise you, right? Imagine like taking a light and shining it into the darkest corner of your psyche. And what that does is it allows you to burn away or remove the karma and all of the twisted structures that might be hiding or lurking in there. It's only when you bring light to the darkness that you can truly banish whatever lurks there, right? And I've got a lot to say on light versus darkness and all the rest of it. I don't buy into the traditional or should I say the modern actually ideas of, you know, light equals good, like, you know, darkness equals bad, you know. And this is the thing as well. So if you consider then that the 12th house is your subconscious, this is a place of deep formless energy, pure potential. But if it's filled with all of your crap that you don't want to acknowledge, you know, your subconscious is spitting that out on other levels and it's going unchecked. Whereas this full moon is going to shine a light in there and say, right, what is it that you're not dealing with? What is it that you've left half done? What, you know, this is definitely a month, Aquarius. Fix it or forget it, right? If you've got no intention or you don't think that you can see something through to completion, you don't think you can fix it, get rid of it, right? It really is that simple. This is the month where you need to do that internal spring clean, all right? So let's have a look at the different sectors of this month and how they're going to speak to us. For your Oh, all right. So for your actions and interactions with the world at large, you have the Hanged Man. This month, get spiritual. Oh, your Human Design Oracle card for the full moon is stillness, right? Take a moment, take a beat, sit with what comes up, right? Just observe it, acknowledge it, and then let it be burnt away by the light of the full moon. When you bring those things into the fore, into the conscious mind, and I said this for one of the other signs, I read this line in a book years ago and I was like, yeah, that is a little bit of me. I absolutely love this saying. There's nothing frightening in the dark if you just face it. So whatever comes up around this time, no matter how it feels, go through it, sit with it, observe it, and then just let it go, right? By acknowledging that it's there or that it was there, you might even look at it and think, you know what, wow, I can't believe I was still holding on to that. I don't even believe that anymore, right? Find a way to do that work, to release it. I promise you, you'll be lighter for it by the time this full moon is over. So your actions and interactions with the world at large, you've got the Hanged Man. Very, very interesting as well, right? Because this card is also about stillness. And if you look at him, right, he's hung upside down there, but look at the halo on his head. He doesn't look distressed. And there's a reason he doesn't look distressed, because of that acceptance of the circumstance or the situation that he's in. He's surrendered to life. And by doing so, he's taken the power back. This month, the best way for you to get ahead is to do as little as possible. You don't have to push. You don't have to overly do. This is a month to sit back, observe, reassess, reevaluate, take a moment. Mercury's retrograde in the sign of Gemini for basically the whole month. So just keep that in mind as well. For your money and materials, you have the Chariot card, right? So your money is going to grow and increase and increase. And we know this why, because Jupiter is currently in your second house and is going to be there for the next 2 months, and then is going to go into that space for the whole year in for the majority of the year in 2022, which is very, very exciting. So pay attention to the new opportunities that are shaping up for you this month. When it comes to your money, your finances and your resources, this could literally be you saying, you know what, I'm going to dedicate myself to doing what needs to be done to get to where I would like to be. This is really you conquering an aspect of yourself this month. For your communications and conversation, you've got the Nine of Pentacles. This is great, beautiful communication, amazing conversation that could really help you change your mind or understand something about yourself on a deeper level. When it comes to your work, this is you really building either a network or at least a service list, or building a set of services that could really make you a lot of money, that could really give you the material experience that you're looking for. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. You may be working very hard on things behind closed doors at this moment in time, and if you feel like, oh, nobody's seeing this though, like nobody's going to see it, it just means that they're not seeing it now. And not only that, you've got the Hanged Man in your actions and options. It's not time yet. There's a lot more that needs to be done behind the scenes before these things are going to be ready. Do it right and do it now. All right. For your love and relations, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. I'll take it. For some of you, this is literally, right? This is, I mean, look at that. Right next to the Nine of Pentacles. That is... just good conversation, good communication, finances, settled, easy, good space, right? For those of you that are single, you're very likely this month to, I mean, it looks like you're really focused on your material experience and enhancing that. If you are meeting somebody, it's not going to be at home. It's not going to be in the area that you are aware of. This Chariot card suggests as well, for some of you, there might be travel out of bounds or to a place that you're not necessarily familiar with, which is awesome. For those of you that are partnered or in relationships, the Ten of Pentacles right next to the Nine of Pentacles, this is finishing work on the house. This is enjoying the house. This is enjoying the family and the time that you have together. It's security on the material plane, and it's also just a really solid, stable home. Lovely. All right, let's have a look at our weeks of the month. What might we need to be aware of as overarching trends and themes? So for the first week of the month, we have the Chariot card, right? So your victory and success and the best ways for you to get ahead are literally for you to take it easy, to keep working on things behind the scenes. It does look like the first or second week of the month, may come with some sort of travel. It looks like there's also going to be consideration of a spiritual journey or trip of some kind, maybe to a sacred site. So you might be planning it here in the first week of the month and doing it later, but it looks like it's coming up for a lot of you. For your second week of the month, you have the Magician card, right? So when it comes to your finances, your money, your resources, it really just matters. Like, what really matters is your state of mind. What really matters is the broadcast signal that you are putting out there. When it comes to your money, your materials, your finances, this could be some sort of recognition for your expertise, which may end up in turn being a very lucrative, offer of some kind. It might be an invite. And if there is an invite that comes up this month, I would definitely take it. Remember, Mercury's retrograde. And it's retrograde in the sign of Gemini. So if the trickster energy of the Magician card were ever going to show up, it's definitely going to be this month, right? So you just want to be aware. If you are buying or purchasing something, especially a car or a vehicle, if you can get second set of eyes, etc. on it, this would be the time. If you can, if you're going to buy a second-hand car, anyone that is relatively good with cars, get them to check it over. It's not a good month to buy something brand new or put something on finance. For your third week of the month, you have the Star card, right? So this is, look at that, joy, optimism, hope, and it's also a glimpse, just a little glimpse of how truly wealthy and abundant your life can be. And I'm not just talking about money or finances. I'm talking about being settled. I'm talking about being at ease. I'm talking about feeling like you are truly the king or queen or, exalted royal of your own life. This is wonderful. It also suggests as well, when it comes to communications, there's something about the way that you're received this month that could see you doing a lot better than you even thought yourself. You know, so it depends. I mean, for some of you, maybe you go viral. Maybe something that you worked hard on is now ready to be seen by the world. Maybe this is you putting those finishing touches on something. I don't feel like the release date is this month though. I feel like, you know, I feel like you'll come close, or you'll finish whatever it is that you're working on, but it's not quite ready. Not yet. This isn't the release month. And then finally you have the Strength card, which comes up in the 4th week. So I talked about this. I think it was in the possibly the Scorpio or the Virgo video, but the Strength card has been very, very active for the 4th week of the month. So I'm intrigued to see what comes up. Now, for those of you that are partnered or in relationships that are hoping to buy homes, this could be some really good news. It looks like you are working on the foundations of the relationship as well. So this is a strengthening of the bond. This is a reconnection with a partner. It's a heart to heart, quite frankly, that takes the relationship back to where it was in the good old days, let's say. And then the other way that this could show up as well, for those of you that are single, it's either through your work, through your duties, that you are meeting someone. It does look like a really great connection. I just want you to be aware, like I said, with that whole Mercury retrograde energy in the mix. And also, it's, you know, it's going to be interacting with Neptune as well, which can create a really sort of, you know, you could see what you want to see. So you just, you know, just be cautious, you know, especially if you're getting into bed and, you know, finances with someone at the same time. You know, unless you're married, in which case, you know, you should be fine. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. It looks like a pretty decent month, I have to say. It may be slower than you want. I have to say that. It may be slower. You may have to, you know, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. You may even have to take things at a pace that is uncomfortable to you. But either which way, it looks like it's going to be a really great month, and there's going to be a lot of internal advancement, and that is the key. Take care, and I'll see you soon.